I have this idea, internet, you see, for a line of artisanal lamps, each individual one based off of a Street Fighter character. I'm gonna name them Street Lighters.
Street Lighters.
2018 New Year, New Me. Street Lighters for sale now. $50 each. Pay big money for big quality, Sam. Big time players make big time plays. That's a throwback. You're welcome. Welcome to 2018.
We take a month off, and this is the filth you come back to.
I have it all built up, and it's all just exploding out of me.
As John Bellion once said, nothing has changed. He is the same.
What song is that?
He is the same.
Ah, there
by
you go.
John Bellion.
I've only listened to that album like once, I'm going to be honest with you.
Hey, talk a little bit more. I want to make sure our levels are like the same.
You talk a bit more.
And I am going to talk a little bit more. My levels are like still lower than yours. And I don't know why.
Maybe I project more.
Should I just talk louder?
No.
Is that the solution?
No. I'd pull the levels up a bit more. Yeah, I think mine's just on a higher level. Because as you know, there's levels to it. And you and I know.
Checking 1 2. Checking 1 2. Checking 1 2. Hey, we're about the same now.
Pretty close. Oh yeah.
Close enough.
Looking good.
Getting a bit of reflection in my.
Hello, internet. You look so nice this year. Did you do something new with your hair? I bet you did.
Should I move that lamp like a little bit to the side, like that way further?
Nah, I think it looks good.
I feel like there's a lot of reflection on my glasses.
Sam, we wear glasses. That's what's going to happen. You can if you want, but then it's going to reflect off of my glasses.
I gotta move it.
And I would rather reflect off of your glasses than mine. See, internet, this is the problem with wearing glasses and also attempting to be camera personalities, is that you just can't. It's no matter what. Let me back up. Proper lighting usually has you using what's called a fill light, which is a light that sits behind the camera that actually is what lights the front of this without reflecting super hard off of things around us. We've got a light source over there, which is actually just our living room lamp, and then we have the lamp from Sam's room, which we're using as a...
We took the shade off.
We did take the lampshade off, which we're using as our fill light. But the problem with having glasses and then looking towards the camera with a fill light behind it is it just reflects off the glasses, and that's just something we're going to have to live with. Something that's become really popular, though, especially on Instagram, is wearing glasses and then sitting in front of like ring lights, so that way you get the whole ring reflection on your like sunglasses.
Well, ring lights are like, you want to be like a cool, like trendy vlogger? Get a ring light.
Ring lights are actually very common in filmmaking. Like that's.
It's true.
It's just you now have these YouTube vloggers with money and access to professional equipment, which means suddenly that they have they're kind of what started the ring light reflection trend, because they were saying, hey, I want the next step up in quality, and they're like, well, ring light's the best you can get because it sits. A ring light is a fill light that sits directly on top of the camera. For those of you watching who might not know, and so if you ever see photos of people on Instagram who have like really dark sunglasses and then like the circle of light bouncing off, they just put a ring light in front of their camera is all they did. So not actually as cool as you think they are. They just dropped like, $5,000 on a light bulb.
A round light bulb?
Mm-hmm. That's true. It's a circle.
Money well spent.
I'd say so. Yeah, Andy Mineo used one in his most recent music video, and it was cool AF. AF as the AF.
This is weird having that up on the screen while we're recording.
I like it.
I have to consciously think to look at the camera, not look at the screen. Like, look at the camera.
Well, I mean, here's the only difference is now I'm looking this way instead of down at the ground. Because I would spend, if you internet specifically were to go back and look at any of our old podcasts, you'll see me staring at the floor constantly, trying to see what's actually being filmed. So I like this much better.
I look at you a lot more when we're podcasting. I do this a lot when we're podcasting. It's kind of like,
I have a tendency to not look people in the eye when I talk to them anyway. So you just do that normally. That's not any different than your day to day. That's the 2018 Sam.
on, Daddy.
Sexy podcasting.
Sexcast. The sex.
That's different.
Sex Point Production.
Sexcast.
Sex Point Production.
Sexcast and sexy podcasting are two different things. Sexy podcasting is hot. Sexcasting is just sex. It's basically porn.
So maybe hot also, but.
I mean, it depends on if you like that sort of thing or not.
So I want to throw it out there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put this in the podcast because this is weird.
Okay.
So one of Tom's friends is going into porn. She apparently made like a ways back made like a secret Snapchat where she was just like posting like porn basically.
Oh, right.
And
sure.
then she like tweeted a couple days ago like I'm like going like auditioning to go into like pornography.
Nice.
And then like
Casting couch.
got like ripped by like everyone on Twitter. This is like
Yeah.
something like he went to high school, like some girl from Phoenix went to high school with.
Oh,
And then
sure.
like she tweeted like, oh, like I didn't expect this to be so bad. Like I'm gonna be off social media for a while. And then proceeded to tweet like 15 more things after that about how like she can make decisions she wants. And my favorite one with her final tweet was, I just didn't think people thought like so poorly of porn.
So what you're saying, she's very smart.
Yes.
Sam, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What if she's a Safe Point fan?
Listen,
Hello, how are you? Give me a call.
we have 39 subs. The odds
She could be
of-
one of them.
out of the 6 billion people in the world,
Did our sub count drop?
I think we lost 1 or 2.
That makes sense. We haven't posted things in about a month.
6 weeks.
Almost a month and a half.
Yes.
Which, to be fair, we said we were going on hiatus for the holidays.
We should start podcasting. This is the longest setup we've ever done. Like, it took us to get the light set up, the cameras, the mics. We're out of practice.
Well, out of practice, yeah. Well, I mean, all the equipment was everywhere, too.
My room.
Well, some of it was over here.
Under the table. Under the secondary table.
Under the other table. That's the gaming table right there. This is the podcast table.
Careful, it's very wobbly.
That's the gaming
Don't-
table. It really. Where'd you find this table, Sam?
I found this table maybe next to the dumpster outside of our apartment.
Watch this. Are you ready for this, internet? Look
no,
at this.
No, stop.
Look at how stable.
It's going to break. It's going to break. It's my table.
It doesn't look great. I'm not gonna lie, but
Listen.
it also looks awesome
On camera, it looks fine.
until you touch it.
If you touch it or you get up close and you notice how like beat up the tarnish finish,
We also haven't dusted it.
no. But in our defense, we haven't dusted anything else in our apartment either in the 6 months we've lived here.
Has it been 6 months already?
No, it's been 7. No, sorry, 5, not 6. I went there. I knew it was off by 1, but I went the wrong direction.
You scared the crap out of me, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We should do like an intro to the podcast at some point in time.
Where the hell are we gonna put the intro video on this?
Right here. Hello,
Hey,
I'm Sam.
I'm Chris.
We're Safe Point Productions.
This is the Safe Point. How are you?
Hey, if you're wondering, neither of us died.
That's not an answer to the question. How are you, Sam?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good, Sam.
I'm
Thanks.
Sam. This is Chris.
I'm Chris.
I had to do that. It's been 6 weeks, and I forgot the thing I've done
You know, Sam, you just
like
did it twice.
12
right?
times before.
You
Did
just
I,
did it.
wait, did I do the I'm Sam? This is
You
Chris
did it and then
already?
forgot that you did it, and then apologized for not doing it for the first time and did it again.
Listen, it's been
We're out of practice.
listen, it's been a long time since we've done this.
We're not, dude. We're consummate professionals.
Consummate professionals.
That's what we are.
We've done this
Yes,
before.
sirree.
12 times, I think. Maybe 11. I forget how many podcasts we filmed.
This does not taste like a caramel macchiato.
Is it
It's got-
perhaps
do you like
because
coffee?
it's not a caramel macchiato?
Do you like coffee?
I mean, well enough.
Can you try this? I want you to try this. Hold on. I figured it out. It just says grande latte with caramel syrup. They just gave me a regular latte and put caramel in it.
That's not a caramel macchiato.
That is not a caramel macchiato. And I'm sitting here, taste it, because it almost tastes like eggnog. Which I'm not opposed to. I love eggnog. It tastes like coffee and eggnog.
That is just a latte.
With coffee, with caramel
Yes.
syrup. Yeah, and I was sitting there, I was like, why does this not taste like a
It's
caramel
not very
macchiato?
sweet. A macchiato would be much sweeter than that.
Yeah, because it's got the whipped cream and stuff in it too. Milk.
Milk.
Milk. This is just a regular latte with caramel syrup, which I'm not opposed to. It tastes good. Macchiatos, at the same time, though, I feel like they've got stronger initial bitter notes. Lattes are a bit smoother.
There. I prefer a latte to a macchiato.
I like macchiatos because I like the bitter and then sweet. It's probably why I like IPAs.
You do like IPAs.
Love IPA.
I don't love IPAs. I like them. I don't love them.
I love IPAs. They're almost exclusively what I drink at this point.
It's true.
Ah!
Oh, I didn't think that this would happen.
For those of you at home who can't tell, the screens
Everything was for nothing.
To use as a playback monitor. Sam hooked the laptop up to our TV with HDMI, and then his screensaver just kicked in.
So we're just seeing like the
I'm gonna move it. I can't do
the Mac like wavy lines thing.
I can't deal with it.
Listen, if we get like some rocks or something, we can throw them at my laptop every now and then.
That doesn't sound like a good idea.
Listen, my laptop's lived a good life.
I'm gonna make a lot of noise here. I can see the levels popping up right there too. I'm sorry, but there's
Okay, I put a level cap on.
There's
these,
not a
so
better.
It won't pop too much.
There's not a better way.
Listeners. But yeah, so we've been gone for a little while. We'll be talking about that actually a little bit more next week. Our next week's podcast is kind of going to be like overviewing a lot of like.
We'll talk
what's
next
up.
week. We'll talk about what we're going to be doing. Today, I figured we could talk about what we've been doing during our
And also probably Star Wars.
during our hiatus. Spoilers: it's a lot of Star Wars. Oh, I bumped it. This is a bad place for. I'm probably going to change it next week because I like to hang my arm off the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is weird. Listen, it's a new year, new Chris, and he's trying to like move the mic.
I don't like new Chris.
It's okay. I never liked old Chris either.
Most people didn't. What have you been doing, Sam? Give me some highlights. Let's go. Let's go chronologically. Christmas highlights. Go.
Have we filmed since Thanksgiving? Because it might be Thanksgiving highlights.
We've done a couple since Thanksgiving.
All right, so Christmas highlights.
Our last one is at the very beginning of December.
All right, because I honestly could not remember.
And at that time we said, hey, we're going to be gone for the next couple weeks.
True. Oh, we were.
That's why 6 weeks I think was a exaggeration. I think it
might be
four.
But it might be 5 by the time this goes up, which is tomorrow.
Valid.
Maybe 4. Time's hard.
It makes my head box hurt.
Christmas highlights. Got to see family.
Fam.
Went down to Cincinnati.
Famo.
I went out to Pennsylvania to meet my girlfriend's like extended family for the first time. Which, listen, it can be daunting to meet your significant other's extended family.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. They were pretty cool.
That's
It was fun getting to hang out with them. Played a lot of games. Watched Ohio State crap all over USC in the Sugar Bowl. I think we played them in.
Cotton Bowl.
Cotton Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was one of those things that you can get in Settlers of Catan.
Yep.
You don't get those in Settlers of Catan.
Cotton?
No, you don't get that or sugar.
Do you not get cotton in?
No, you get lambs, which would wear cotton.
Basically cotton.
No, cotton does not come from lamb. It's wool. Wool comes from lamb.
That's why I said basically, Sam.
But in my mind, cotton did come from lamb. In that moment.
I gave it, yeah, but wouldn't that be hilarious if cotton farmers were actually just like it's just a bunch of sheep everywhere, and they had to like chase them.
It's like,
and that's what makes the job so difficult. That's why cotton is so valuable, because the sheep are fast.
well, like that freaking the sheep in Odyssey. There's in the frozen like desert.
Mm-hmm.
There's that sheep chasing mission to get. I don't know if you ever got that far.
It's like that, but in real life.
yeah. Also, that's
did, actually,
my
yeah.
least favorite star I think I've done in the whole game. I hated that star.
I didn't mind it.
Moon. They're moons.
Not stars. It's different.
Odyssey, listen, Mario, stop it. You can't keep changing things on me. But yeah, no, so...
What happens when they just turn into like planets?
Da-na-na-na-na-na, you got a planet!
Black holes.
What is this, Mormonism? Everyone gets their own planet now?
Ha.
Mormon humor. I'm sorry to our Mormon fans. I don't know if we have any Mormon
I
fans.
was trying to think. I was like, do we have any more? I think we personally know every single one of the people that watches the show, and I don't think we have any more.
And if we don't personally know you, hit us up on Twitter.
We do have the tweets.
At SamWareMusic, at SavePointChris.
I am only ever going to respond outside of business hours because I work a 9 to 5.
I will only ever respond.
But I'll respond eventually.
Every now
I
and
respond
then.
to all tweets. Added me.
Hit us up to get to know us. Maybe someday we'll do that cool thing that professional people do where they have a little pop-up on the bottom of the screen where it's like, at SavePointChris, at SamWareMusic. But the other way around.
If you want to talk professionalism, that's called the lower third. Maybe.
Maybe. We got a solid name in that. Anyway.
I keep looking at the TV when I'm trying to toast the camera, and then I have to remember you're over there. Hello, Internet. You're over there.
But yeah, no. So a lot of my time, as Chris will always say the same when it gets to him, has been spent doing any and everything Star Wars related that I possibly can.
I've been neck deep in it.
Just so much Star Wars. I've seen Last Jedi twice, as have you.
I have.
We will talk. Save Last Jedi thoughts. I actually want like the bulk of the rest of the podcast to just be Last Jedi talk.
Well, I figure.
That's my topic.
I figure.
Spoiler alert.
We're so far out at this point. I figured. Let me know if that's going to be your topic.
My topic's gonna be Last Jedi.
Okay, fair enough. Because I was going to say we could just do that. Because I mean, I'm almost at the point where it's been talked about and debated and however you felt about it on every corner of the internet, everywhere for the last month, that I'm almost tired of talking about it. So I'll give my short thoughts on this thing.
My topic is a little different.
Okay.
It has to do with Last Jedi, though. Kind of.
I'm down with it.
So Star Wars
Spoiler alert, I liked it, and I don't care if you didn't.
Spoiler alert, I also liked it a lot, and if you didn't...
I get it. I get it.
You have a valid... I'll just say you're dumb, but you have a valid opinion. I'm sure.
No, I get it. I fully understand why people didn't enjoy the movie, and that's fine. I don't care if you didn't, though. Just don't be an asshole about it. If you didn't like it, just say, hey, I didn't like it. Probably, I mean, you know what? I don't want to talk about this right now. Let's talk about something else. Christmas. What else about Christmas?
Yeah. That was about it. It was chill. It was relaxing. I needed that.
Word.
It was fun. I'm trying to think of any, like, funny stories. Really nothing funny happened.
That's okay.
I worked a lot.
You did work a lot.
And yeah. That was kind of Christmas.
Cool.
So that, I don't know, I feel like there's funny stories I'm just forgetting. Maybe they'll come up later, maybe they won't. Christopher.
Yeah.
Your holidays.
Holidays are great. I did. New Year's was great. Christmas was a little weird for me in that this is the first year in maybe ever that I can think of that I didn't spend Christmas with my parents.
That is weird.
I think I did fly out here once back when I was living in Albuquerque for Christmas, and it was weird then too. But for those of you who don't know, I've lived in Ohio for almost 5 years now. It'll be July 1st, actually. I moved here July 1st of 2013. And every single one of those years I have gone to visit my parents for Christmas, and that's usually the only time I see them. A couple other exceptions now that they live in DC notwithstanding. But I spent Christmas here just because I couldn't get work off and a schedule worked around that, and that was a little strange. I enjoyed being able to spend it with Brittany's family and kind of seeing what they do for Christmas, but it was still a little strange for me, and I was kind of down about it for a while. I got some really cool things for Christmas though, or really my half Christmas, because all my parents my parents still had all of my presents from them at their place. But I enjoyed having the time off. I got that Monday and Tuesday off, and
what is crazy? That was so much time off.
I got that Monday and Tuesday off, and I got to, and I mean it snowed a bunch on Christmas Eve, which was awesome. I feel like that's what everybody wants on Christmas Eve, is a bunch of snow.
I had to drive in that for 2 hours.
I went back to my old church for Christmas Eve, and it was awful, dude. I hate it there. I hate it there so much. I love my new church better. I'm not into traditional services, and I went to a super traditional Christmas Eve service, and I was dying inside. But then I spent Christmas Eve with Brittany and her family, and that was really, really nice. Sheila cooked a kick-ass dinner, and that was all really, really cool. And again, they gave me a bunch of good gifts. But for New Year's, however, I went down to Washington D.C. to visit my family, and we celebrated Christmas there. And then I got to see them and enjoy all that. And I've only been to Washington D.C. once other time, and that was over this previous summer, which was also really just for a weekend, because I also got the 1st and 2nd off. And so while I was out there, I got a new car, because I think in the last one I talked about, my car literally exploded. And
which is funny that it's been so long since we've done any of this, that like in that span you didn't get a new car.
I haven't had a car for a month and a half.
So yeah, if you're like, wow, I haven't seen Save Point in a while. Me and Brittany, Chris's fiance, have been driving him everywhere since you last saw us.
And Scott.
Oh, and Scott.
Yeah.
I can't forget Scott.
Dude, Scott drove me.
Scott, you're the homie.
Scott drove me more than anybody else. He's
true.
He's the actual homiest of homies. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.
You're a great guy, Scott.
I think we're gonna have him on the podcast sometime soon, which would be hella fun. Scott's so funny. I'll have to put a couple beers in him first. It'll be really funnier then. He wouldn't argue. He would not argue with that. But I went out to DC to visit my family. I got a new car. I got some really cool stuff from my parents, and I was just really happy to see them and be able to spend that time with them. I really like Washington D.C. That's a cool city, man. Got to spend a little more time inside of the city. I actually saw. I don't know if I even told you this. I I think you're familiar that I used to be a youth leader out in Albuquerque, and
Yeah.
before that, I was in that youth group. Because I turned 18, aged out, and then immediately started training to become a youth leader there. Two of my old youth kids live in D.C.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, one of them doesn't. He was in town visiting his parents for the holidays. But I got to go see Jonathan and Jacob Mansberger, who I know watched this show. What's up, guys?
Hi, Jonathan and Jacob.
We met up with the Mansbergers for dinner because the Mansbergers' father used to be my dad's boss in Albuquerque.
All right.
He was the head chaplain at our church, I believe. It's been a while. Correct me if I'm wrong. Send me a text.
In the comments down below.
Yeah.
Leave a like, subscribe.
But the Mansbergers had been there really since I had moved there from Florida, and those two were my friends like my entire stay there. And so that was really, really weird to see them, because they're a couple years younger than me. It's really weird to see them like old and in college and stuff now. It's weird, guys. It was weird, but it was really I was really, really happy to see them. I told Jonathan. I didn't tell Jacob because he's doing the community college thing. He's going to transfer, which is what my sister is doing, which is really weird to think about. But I told him that they should come and visit. Come and visit.
Come and visit. We got a very comfortable couch.
That couch. I sleep almost every night. I don't sleep in my own bed.
And I slept on that chair a few times, and it's surprisingly comfortable.
I like rarely sleep in my own bed anymore.
That's almost every morning I find like this cushion like here, and I'm like, that was a pillow last night.
Yeah, it was. It's freaking awesome. But no, holidays were fun. I enjoy it. It was super, super nice to be able to take some time off and just relax, which I did a lot of. And like yourself, just balls deep in Star Wars stuff, man.
All Star Wars all the time.
All Star Wars all the time. It's still where I'm at. I'm over the moon right now, man. It's a good time to be a Star Wars fan.
It's one of those things where like I know my like Star Wars bubble will burst, and I'll go back to like regularly scheduled like anime and other like nerddom things.
It's done the same thing for me the last two movies, like Rogue One and Force Awakens. Usually around like the February-March area, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna move on to other things.
But then we have a movie in May,
which is so weird.
so it's like we'll be down for like the month of April, like off Star Wars for like April,
Yeah.
and then right back into Star Wars.
I assume we're gonna get a trailer for it in February.
If it's actually coming in May,
And then they're
we
just going to promote,
have to.
and then they're just going to promote the hell out of it.
We have to.
They finished filming months ago.
Why
It's
is
got to
there-
be almost done.
I don't understand why there's been no real word about it.
Well, they didn't want to cross promote against The Last Jedi. The thing is, just think about this. They debuted a trailer for Solo like right before The Last Jedi. You're going to walk out of that movie talking about Solo, not about The Last Jedi.
It's fair.
It's all cross promotion. I mean, you know, Disney's not dumb. They 100% know what they're doing.
Are we gonna get Star Wars burnout?
Maybe eventually.
Funhouse talked about this on their. I don't think you've watched it yet.
I've not watched it yet.
So Funhouse on YouTube, a great YouTube
like
channel.
I said, I'm almost kind of done with talking about The Last Jedi.
But this is about Star Wars in general. Funhouse is a great YouTube channel. They do a thing called Movie House, whatever they call it. Filmhouse, and they talk about movies that just came out, right? And during their Last Jedi one, which is honestly, if you get the chance, if you want to, it's not a bad hour and a half to spend your life.
It's my understanding they give a pretty fair.
They give it a fair
review of
shake.
it. Yeah,
they give it a fair shake.
A few of them liked it, a few of them didn't. Some of them were in the middle.
Yes, and a couple
cool.
like really liked it.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, John Reisinger and Bruce being the two that really liked it.
I love it. Did best.
So what
Please put us on your show.
one of the points that a guy named Adam, who is one of my favorite members of Funhouse, I disagree with Adam on just about everything, but I love what Adam brings to the table.
Sure.
I think he's super funny. And what he says, and Adam, if you ever watch it, Adam Kovic, please watch our stupid videos.
We love you.
I do love you, Adam.
So
if you want
much.
to come on to Save Point, that'd be great.
Too much.
But seriously, it's a big poster in Chris's room above his bed.
Shirtless.
It's like, yeah. Yeah.
Tasteless.
Oh, God. And
No,
then
it's tasteful though. You know, what I mean,
Yeah.
it's tasteful. There's like a leaf.
it's Bruce.
You know,
Bruce's head.
It's
That's what
Bruce. Oh,
There's a cut. It's a cutout of like Bruce's head.
it's just him. Like
Everyone who like doesn't know what Funhouse is, they're just like, what are they talking about?
that. Yeah.
Anyway,
they're unsubscribed.
This is a long way to get to this point.
yes.
Adam basically said that, I think it was Adam that said, so it could have just all been for nothing.
Cool.
Said that Star Wars has become its own genre. And he said that, when he was saying that, Last Jedi is in the genre now of Star Wars movies, and for him, he didn't like it. He think it's one of the worst of these Star Wars genre movies.
Sure.
So he said his idea was that 10 years from now, instead of saying like, oh, like here are Western movies, here are like romance movies, like here are Western movies, here are romance movies, here are Star Wars movies, because we're going to get so many of them that it is its own genre, just set in the world of. We're going to have Star Wars romance movies,
which I was going to say, it makes a lot of sense, because I mean, you look at the original Star Wars movies and what they are, which honestly is still something that nobody else has done. You could argue that Star Wars has always been a genre of their own since the beginning, but it's not just a space opera. It takes place in space, but it's not a sci-fi. Most people classify it as a fantasy, but in space, because I mean, there's not really hard rules for the way lots of things work. Despite people wanting that, that's not really what Star Wars is. We don't talk about Super Leia.
Worst scene in that entire movie.
Not actually true. I'd take Super Leia over the stupid horses.
I would rather watch that scene than have to uncomfortably sit through Leia doing this through space.
Actually, it's with her hands open, she does this.
Spoiler alert, I guess. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm
Leia
sorry.
doesn't die. Spoiler alert. It's been out like a month already. Go. I don't care. If you
Just go see it.
That's your fault.
There's a stupid scene with Leia. It's stupid.
It's really dumb. It's not more dumb than another particular sequence in the movie, but it is dumb.
I think
I can't drink this latte anymore. I don't like it. It's open, but now for that sexy sound effect. This, my friend, is actually something that I want to bring up. While we're talking about it. This is one of my favorite beers, which is Kona Brewing Company's Big Wave, which is a golden ale, or as I like to call it, Better Blue Moon.
Big Guave.
Big Wave.
Big Guave.
The reason that this is so significant to me is that I found a case of these in cans in Washington, D.C. I have never found cans anywhere outside of the Hawaiian Islands. I didn't know they sold cans on the mainland.
Not only on the mainland, but on one of the farthest possible spots
in
you
Washington,
could be from Hawaii.
D.C.
It could honestly be because of like people being in Washington from Hawaii, like
which would make sense.
State kinds of
it's
people.
Like I could see them in like California. That would make sense to me.
No.
But Washington D.C. was so odd. You know what else I found at the same store in D.C. though was Hofbrauhaus brand Hefeweizen bottled. It took all of my restraint to not buy it. Because I was already buying this.
Is Hofbrauhaus like a...
It's a chain.
Okay, it's a chain? Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure.
There's only a handful of locations.
I was like, is it the Columbus one?
In the U.S., there's like 4. 2 of them are in Ohio.
Their hef is my favorite hef.
I'm going to move my mic a little bit closer. Sorry.
Your mic, like, just so you know, it like dipped when you did that a little bit.
It's fine. It's probably not. I'm adjusting. We can throw up the technical difficulty slide here if you want.
I was going to do it already.
Oh.
But not here. I'm going to do it earlier.
Well, you know what I mean.
You've probably already seen it.
Hey! Their Hefeweizen very good, but I mean, it's also very traditional Bavarian Hefeweizen. Like,
which, sometimes,
that's all you want.
You want to be a Bavarian. Go to Bavaria. Bavaria, is that where Bavarians are from?
No, Bavarian specifically is a German thing. I don't think Bavaria is a place, unless it is. Send me a tweet at me.
Welcome to Bavaria.
Bavaria.
Bohemian rap. Bavarian Rhapsody.
Bavarian. It's completely different. It's a metal song. It's funny because metal is popular in Germany.
It really is.
But like traditional, like heavy metal, like when I think German metal, I usually go straight to like death metal, not necessarily like metal.
Well, no, it's like I feel like that European metal is like death. Like
it's it's not like necessarily. It's not like Metallica. It's more like Meshuggah.
I used to listen to like some like Icelandic and like Norwegian death metal when I was younger.
I mean, it's my understanding that's where death metal comes from.
Yeah,
which makes sense, which is awesome because I mean, without death metal, we wouldn't have metalcore, which is my personal thing. I've actually been getting pretty into some death metal stuff lately. I've been listening to Born of Osiris and especially my favorite death metal band, is Impending Doom, who are releasing a new album this year.
Would you say that the album is
Impending. Doom.
I got the look too. It's fine. It's fine.
You want to talk about Star Wars now?
Yeah. So
Since
my
we're
topic.
half an hour in at this point.
So here's my topic.
Case in point, holidays were great,
Darn right they were.
and that's that.
Here is my topic. And my topic is, we talked about this very briefly. You and I did off camera a couple days ago.
Yep.
But early bold predictions for episode 9.
Before we get super into it, I just realized, which I cut the conversation short by going to get a beer. Do I think we're going to get Star Wars?
Oh, yeah, that was a question I asked. Which on my topic is a question that came up to my mind while we were doing this.
Star Wars fatigue. I'd say there's potential for it. Two things that I like to point out is we've had 18 Marvel movies and I'm not fatigued on them yet. And I understand maybe that's just me personally, but I think the Marvel movies that are firing off on all cylinders like they never have before, like right now.
But is that not just because, to some extent, the early ones weren't great?
I know you ain't talking about Iron Man.
Listen, Captain America, the first Avenger,
You know, and I both
is the second worst
heartily
Marvel
disagree
movie.
with that.
Thor 2
Thor 2 is absolutely the worst
is
Marvel
the
movie.
worst Marvel movie.
Captain America is not the second worst.
What is?
The first Thor.
I honestly put the first Thor as like a small step above.
No, I liked it more than I liked it less than Captain America. I thought Captain America was better than the first Thor.
And
But here's the thing, I liked them both.
I'll say this to some extent,
The only Marvel movie I've ever disliked was the second Thor.
I am a little Marvel fatigued. I loved Thor Ragnarok.
I've never been more excited for Marvel movies than I am right now.
I don't care about Black Panther.
How dare you?
Like, I Infinity War, I'm in. I'm sold. Midnight release. I'm
Black
in.
Panther, I'm so excited for it. Look, we're going to see the last Infinity Stone. We're going to see Wakanda, which is going to be so awesome. Look, Michael B. Jordan is the villain in this one. That's going to be so dope.
I love Michael B. Jordan.
Plus,
And regular Michael Jordan.
what's the name of the guy that played Snoke?
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is in it too. It's going to be a good movie. I'm really excited about it.
Listen, we are mere months away from a movie written, directed, and starring Andy Serkis, where Andy Serkis plays all of the roles. Where like Andy Serkis sits in a chair and the chair is Andy Serkis. Like
Mere
that,
months.
Yeah, it's going to happen
It's not this year.
by the end of the year. It's going to happen.
It's not gonna,
But by the that's
where
my
he plays
bold,
literally everything.
my bold prediction for 2018 is that by the end of the year, I have a movie where Andy Serkis just
How do
plays
you
everything.
performance capture a chair?
Dude, it's Andy Serkis. He can do it.
You're probably not right.
And then
Or
while
not wrong, yeah.
well, while he performs acting in the chair, he'll sing that song where he sang where he was Gollum and he was like catching the fish from Return of the King.
that,
like,
that was in the Two Towers.
That was in Two Towers. Either way, Lord, they just run together for me. Okay, they're long movies.
They're very long movies.
Great movies.
But what I'd say, I mean, and I guess that doesn't necessarily count for everybody, but I mean, 18 Marvel movies, and I'm still very excited about each new release. So that is better. But the other thing is my initial worry with them saying that they wanted to do a movie a year was that, oh man, they're going to extend the saga way past it needs to be. After 9, they're done and taking a break for a long time. And that every other movie outside of after episode 9 is going to be like Rogue One, essentially a Star Wars story. Rian Johnson has 3. There's a bounty hunter movie.
Do we know if Rian Johnson's 3 are all related?
Yes, it's a trilogy.
Okay, good. 'Cause I love Rogue One, but I don't know if I want a bunch of movies where I get attached to a character and then never see them again, right?
Sure.
And Rogue One, listen, they were
Great movie.
Chris said when he first saw the poster, none of them are in New Hope. They're all going to die, right? So of course,
Spoiler alert: they all died.
they all. Okay, it's like over a year old. If you haven't seen Rogue One yet, why?
It's on Netflix. What are you
It's
doing?
so
Stop this
good.
now.
Look,
Pause it and then come back.
Control T, Netflix, just right there.
Pause it and come back.
Yeah, don't stop. Don't close
And then
this one.
finish
Control
watching
T to
this.
open a new tab.
Watch Rogue One. It's so good. It's so good.
But like, listen, I love Cassian Andor.
Yeah.
I love K2SO.
Yeah.
I like Jyn Erso.
Yeah.
Love Brute.
that.
Love Anyway, I love them all.
Baze.
Right, Baze. Anyway,
Big
I love
gun.
them all.
You know why you couldn't think of the name? Because there's no character development at all in that movie.
Yes, I love them all, but we were
I
never
love them, I love the
going.
movie, but I would never admit that those characters are great.
We were never going to see them again.
No, they're dead.
But I don't want that again. I don't want another movie where I'm like, man, that like Baze guy, he's cool. I'd love to see more of him.
You're not gonna like Solo.
No, but that's that's different because it's an established. We already have Han. Like I see, I'm like, man, I wish I could see more Han Solo. I have 4 more movies that Han Solo is in that I can just go back and watch.
And then Han Solo dies. Spoiler alert.
Listen, if you haven't,
If you haven't seen Force Awakens at this point, why are you
if
even watching this
Kylo
show?
Ren kills Han Solo, it's a spoiler alert to you. Hey, what if in every Star Wars movie now the thing is like Kylo Ren kills someone important?
He didn't kill anybody in Last Jedi.
Snoke.
Oh shit, he did.
What are you talking about? He kills Snoke. Doesn't kill anyone.
Oh, I completely forgot about that. Oh, I was just thinking like a main character.
Who knew that?
Snoke is not a
Snoke
main
was
character.
supposed to be a main. He's set up like a main
He
character.
absolutely is not.
Listen, you know that shot, that goofy shot?
How much screen time does he have in Force Awakens? Like 2 minutes.
Literally.
He's not set up to be a main character, and that's why I think the argument that that Snoke was wasted is ridiculous, because he was never set up to be that way. It was our own expectations that put him in that place.
But they gave us. That's like no. Listen, Chris. That's like telling your kid, like, "Hey, Timmy, you're gonna have a big Christmas this year," and then you give him a big packet of underwear, and you're like, "Here's your big Christmas."
they never
It's a lot of
once
underwear.
said, they never once gave us any reason to explain Snoke's backstory. He is literally Kylo Ren's MacGuffin.
But like, hold up.
Because it's just look, he's set up to be just like the Emperor in the original trilogy. We didn't know shit about the Emperor until the prequels. You gotta understand.
am the Senate.
I am the Senate.
Do it.
Give in to your anger.
I wish I could forget everything I do know about the Emperor from the prequels.
No, he's one of the better characters of the prequels, I think.
I just don't like the prequels.
They're not good.
I like Revenge. Honestly, having rewatched Revenge, I like Revenge more than I thought I would.
It's the least objectionable,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
It's not a horrible movie.
It's fun. It's also got some of the most silly moments at the same time. Like it goes back and forth.
Some of the CG, and then the most egregious thing about Revenge to me is that Chewbacca is in it. Why is Chewbacca?
That's not the most egregious thing.
Why is Chewbacca in Revenge of the Sith?
Why did Anakin build C-3PO?
But that's in
Why do we have to see Boba Fett? There are so many moments like that.
No,
that's
the
one of my
prequels.
biggest issue with the prequels.
No,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's my
I'm
biggest issue
saying
with the prequels as a whole.
Revenge is
Revenge of the Sith. Well, I'm saying that's Revenge of the Sith. Thing. They shouldn't have had Chewbacca. In
Why
Revenge.
is Chewbacca there?
Shouldn't have had Chewbacca there. Should not have Boba Fett in 2. Shouldn't have had C-3PO in 1. It's all none of that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's a big issue with the prequels.
Listen, C-3PO is like one of the most advanced robots we have still seen, like, in Star Wars. Like, his knowledge of languages is crazy.
He's a protocol droid.
How did Anakin program that? He's 10. Or whatever freaking old Anakin's supposed to be.
That's the point. He was 9 in Episode 1.
That's stupid.
That's why it's fantasy. It doesn't matter.
Stupid.
Yeah, no, it's dumb.
What's worse, Anakin built C-3PO or Jar Jar Binks' existence?
I wasn't ready for. I didn't study.
Why is Chewbacca in Revenge of the Sith George Lucas? Why?
Getting back to it, the Emperor set up, or Snoke is set up to be reminiscent of the Emperor from the original trilogy, and then they explicitly killed him off to further Kylo Ren's character development and storyline. We didn't know anything about the Emperor until the prequels, and it's the exact same thing for Snoke. It's literally Rian Johnson saying, "Oh, you thought he was going to be important? It doesn't matter. Kylo Ren is the one that matters for these reasons."
I think
which is why I don't have an issue. I don't care who Snoke is. He's dead. Don't give a shit. It's done. He's gone. I don't care.
What reinforces that most for me is the goofy shot of Snoke's head on the ground. It's like, bleh.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It's like,
and his finger twitching on the
It's
thing.
so
I loved
goofy.
it. I loved
Listen,
it.
If Snoke comes back in Episode 9, I will be mad.
He shouldn't. If they try and retcon that because what I probably consider to be a vocal minority, at least about Snoke's death, if they ended up retconning that, which I don't think Abrams will.
I don't think Abrams cares what people think. Abrams wants to make a good movie.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. He did make Force Awakens, which was very, very much. Here's a movie that Star Wars fans will like.
But a really freaking good movie.
Yeah, it is also A New Hope too.
I'm okay with that.
I obviously I don't have an issue with that, but a lot of people did. Which is why I wouldn't. And I mean, it's a lot of it is explicitly reminiscent of older movies, specifically for people that didn't like the prequels. Which is why I'm saying I don't know that I would necessarily say Abrams doesn't care what people think, and that he's just going to make. I don't think he's going to go so far as to resurrect Snoke. But I wouldn't necessarily say that he's like, no, I'm going to make my movie. I'd say Rian Johnson is like, no, I'm just going to make my movie.
Here's one of my early predictions for episode 9.
Yep.
Speaking of resurrection, Phasma comes back. I don't think Phasma's dead.
No, I don't think she's dead either.
She will come back. I think Phasma will come back.
I think she's going to do the exact same thing. She's going to be back for 5 minutes in the last one, and then go out
get
like a
her
bitch
butt
again.
kicked again.
Yeah.
Like, Phasma is set up. I haven't read the book. I've heard the book's good. It's a book called Phasma.
I really want to read it. I hear it's good.
I've heard Phasma's super
The comic
cool.
series is really good.
Right? Like, Phasma is set up as this, like, total, like, imposing figure. Like, in a sea of white stormtroopers, she's the silver one, right?
Her armor is made out of the shuttle that freaking Emperor Palpatine used to drive around in, which was also Padme's shuttle in the prequels. You can actually see the ship in the prequel movies that became Phasma's armor in Episode 7. That's cool. Which also makes sense why the laser bounces off of it when Rose fires at her in Last Jedi. Because it's literally the hull of a ship.
But, okay, which leads me to this question. This
Why
has
is she
nothing
there?
to do... Why does Phasma betray Starkiller Base?
She...
I've thought about that forever.
They give a very good reason in the Phasma novel. She's not... essentially, she didn't create the First Order, nor is she part of that. She's not as loyal to them. Essentially, they offered her a shit ton of money, and she works for the First Order. She's basically a contracted stormtrooper.
But aren't all stormtroopers like kind of contracted
No,
stormtroopers?
the First Order stormtroopers are indoctrinated as children.
All I've got First Order is because it's Finn.
First Order stormtroopers are indoctrinated as children, though. Most of them don't have a choice.
I'm thinking
they're
like,
all
like Imperial stormtroopers.
the majority of them are basically brainwashed. Not necessarily clone trooper level, because obviously Finn is like, no, this is wrong. But the majority of them say, no, whatever, this is what I do.
Do it.
Do it. So yeah, you get this punk kid pointing a blaster at her, and she's like, this ain't worth dying over. Yeah, makes sense to me.
And the planet blows up.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: Starkiller Base blows up.
Spoiler if you haven't seen freaking Force Awakens and it's been out for like 3 years. What the hell are you even watching this for? Go watch it.
Go watch it. But yeah, my other bold prediction, which I told you already,
Yep.
Kylo Ren is lying about Rey's parents.
I can see it. I don't know if I want it, honestly.
I want Rey Kenobi, and
I don't. I like that, and this is coming from someone who went super hard into the Rey Skywalker theory. I believe that up until the night we saw the movie. But Snoke's line of Kylo Ren is the darkness in the Force, and Rey is the light to meet his. I like that she almost has an Anakin stature to where she is simply the Force's answer to the rising of the dark side. She doesn't come from anything. She's powerful in the Force because she believes in it.
yeah, but I've always thought that Anakin's like virgin birth is one of the dumbest things in the prequels.
Yeah, it is. Nobody likes it. I can't think of a single person that likes it.
I don't want Rey to be that way. Not that she was like born of the Force.
But that's the thing.
but-
She's not. She was not destined to do that. But as Kylo Ren became stronger, that's why she doesn't have that ability really until 7. That's why 7 is called The Force Awakens. It's something that wakes inside of Rey. The Force essentially picks Rey to be its vessel to take on the rising darkness in
But
the universe.
here's my question for you then. That implies that the Force balances itself out.
Mm-hmm. That's what Luke teaches us in the movie.
But then why did we need Anakin to balance the Force if the Force balances itself?
I mean, Luke straight up says, the Force does not belong to the Jedi, and to believe so is vanity. Their prophecy was that they'd have this chosen Jedi to rid the universe of the Sith. The prophecy was about the Sith, not necessarily, and what they believed to be balance in the Force was to get rid of the dark side completely. So, I mean, really, that prophecy was almost their own vanity blowing up in their face.
What is a huge theme of Last Jedi?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of that. They definitely did a lot to say no. The Jedi were wrong.
That's Luke's second lesson to Rey.
Yeah,
is the Jedi were arrogant.
Yeah, and yeah, I loved it. And I mean, granted, we see that in the prequels too. I mean, that wasn't like not obvious in the prequels as well. But I mean, they definitely doubled down on it in the new trilogy.
I love Luke's line when he says, "At the height of their power, they allowed." Darth Sidious to like rise, and
it was so cool to hear Luke use the name Darth Sidious too, which is straight up a prequel thing. But I was like, okay, I like that. There are bits of the prequels I thoroughly enjoy, and so I like that the new trilogy isn't straight up ignoring the prequels, which is nice. You had the Clone Trooper reference in Force Awakens, and I mean, yeah, Luke saying Darth Sidious was really really cool. I thought, but yeah, I can see. Kylo lying to Rey about her heritage, because that would be the easiest way to be like, you're nothing to anyone, you're trash, you're garbage, but you're something to me, join me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at the same time, I was like, I don't know that it would necessarily fit the story that they set up for in The Last Jedi to change that in the last one. I'd rather it come from nothing and be that way. It's like, stay that way.
I think I'm okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to either be nothing, or I want her to be a Kenobi. One of those two things.
I don't think even if she did come from something, I don't think she came from the Kenobis.
I want her to be a Kenobi.
I know. I feel like if they are gonna retcon the you're from nothing, they're gonna make her a Skywalker.
But that'd be dumb.
So would her being a Kenobi.
No, it would totally make sense.
We know of one Kenobi ever in the universe, and that's Obi-Wan, who was celibate.
But there's that Mandalorian chick. There's a good chance.
She dies in the Clone Wars.
Yes, but.
In the Clone Wars, she dies.
But
like 8 years before the Clone Wars ends.
Here's the thing. That timing would be perfect then. Her and Obi-Wan...
No, it wouldn't. Rey's 19.
Her and Obi-Wan got it on. She had a kid, didn't tell Obi-Wan.
Sam.
Then that kid has another kid. And that kid is Rey. So Rey is Obi-Wan's grandchild via his Mandalorian
So what
honey.
You're saying is that Obi-Wan has lived this one particular lifestyle his entire life, and the moment that his apprentice betrays the Jedi, he throws all of that out the window and goes and bangs at somebody and has a kid. Or actually what you're saying is that Obi-Wan, who is set up to be a very strict rule follower throughout the entire prequels, went and banged somebody during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, during the Clone Wars.
No,
listen, you're in a war. Sometimes you're just
absolutely not.
Sometimes it happens.
There's
in the
no
heat of the
way.
moment.
There's absolutely. I can see him getting it on after Revenge of the Sith, but not during the height of the Clone Wars.
But then Rey
when he's the most vehemently following the Jedi Order.
But then Rey would be part Mandalorian.
No,
that would be so cool.
It's not happening, dude. that particular theory is not happening.
Rey is 1/4 Obi-Wan, 1/4 Mandalorian, and then half of whatever else is thrown in that gene.
The Mandalorians in the Clone Wars are pacifists.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they're still cool.
I guess.
You still have the warmongering Mandalorians in your blood.
I guess. If she's not a warmonger.
But what if you put her in freaking Mandalorian armor?
No. No. I don't like armored Jedi. There's something so strange about that to me.
But imagine the cover of episode 9 is the first Mandalorian, and it's just Rey in Mandalorian armor fighting Kylo Ren in his Kylo Ren helmet. The helmet's back.
The helmet's not going to come back.
It's not coming back.
That was too big of a character moment to come back in the last movie.
All right, bold predictions for me. I've given some stupid predictions.
Those are bold indeed, sir. I mean, we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, give me.
Do I get a bold prediction?
Give me 1 or 2 bold predictions.
I get a bold prediction. Okay.
Or 2. I don't care.
I'll give one. Do I have a bold prediction? Here's a bold prediction. Leia's not going to be in this movie. That's not a bold prediction. Rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. I don't really know that I have any bold predictions for this movie. I mean, honestly, the only thing that I can see, just because they ended up tying off so many bits and pieces from Force Awakens in The Last Jedi, that really all that's left for them to do is now bold predictions. We're going to see the Knights of Ren in this last one. That's my bold prediction. Is that Kylo and the Knights of Ren are going to be the main villain of this last movie? Because I mean that was a set of characters that J.J. Abrams created, who then Rian Johnson basically ignored, and I don't think Abrams is going to let something that he put together go to waste. Because I mean we see them in the Force Awakens.
But isn't Johnson still writing?
No,
I thought Johnson was still writing Episode 9.
Nope, he's moving right onto his trilogy.
So is Abrams writing Episode 9?
Abrams and the guy that wrote Jurassic World are writing episode 9. So I don't think Abrams is going to let his characters go to waste. So I think we're going to see Kylo and the Knights of Ren be the big bad guys in this last one. Hopefully we get a fight scene that's just as cool as the Praetorian Guard scene. Because, damn, if that's not one of the coolest fights ever in Star Wars history.
But what's so cool about it is it's two people working together.
No, what's cool about it was that you have these two Jedi fighting like these super trained warriors.
Exactly, but it's not going to be two Jedi fighting together because it'll be Rey versus...
Yeah, which would be even cooler!
I know, it'll be cool. But if it's Rey versus like the whole Knights of Ren...
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
Rey needs another Jedi on her side.
Nah. I mean, they basically set it up now to where she could go out and find another kid and train him. The movie literally ends with a kid using the Force to pull a broom.
She also needs a lightsaber.
She doesn't need I mean, she has 2 halves of a lightsaber. She's holding them at the end of the movie.
Are kyber crystals, like, are those still around? Are they still a thing? Can you still find those in Star Wars? We should
wrap this up. This is the 3rd time this person has tried to call me.
All right. Well, hey, thank you for watching. We still have a Patreon. It still exists. Jeff, thank you for still being a loyal patron.
I cannot believe you're still giving us money. We love you. You're the best.
Thanks, Jeff. We have Twitter, Facebook, what have you.
We do those things. I'm going to answer the phone.
I've been Sam. That's been Chris.
I love you. Happy 2018.
2018, new year, new Chris. Still same fiance.
Hey.
That's good.